Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and we're celebrating 50 years there, too. Celebrating 30 years at BronxNet, and you're watching Open. Coming up on today's show, we'll check in with a friend of the show to get the latest update on his organization and the work that they are doing in our school communities. Then, the CEO of Neva Alliance stops by to speak to us about the work that her organization is doing to empower women in business and beyond, and to highlight International Women's Month. Speaking of empowerment, we'll hear from a doctor who will share tips on how you can regain your confidence this year, right, through her weight loss program. And then finally, we'll hear from a young man known as Storyteller Gordon, who will share insights about the work that he is doing with his nonprofit organization and so much more. So all you have to do is kick back, sit back, kick off your shoes and relax your feet, because we've got it going on for you. We're wide open. Here we go. We do it like this. And happy birthday to you. If you are celebrating a birthday today, let me sing to you. Happy birthday to you and many more, and may God continue to shine a light on you. Happy birthday to Yvette Henry. She's the aunt of our producer. She just turned 90 years old. Yay! Stephen Powell has that great aunt, 90 years old today. Happy birthday to you, and God bless you. Hey everybody, I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you are watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guest is no stranger to the show. He's the Director of Staff for the United Federation of Teachers and the President of the NAACP's New York chapter. He's with us today to speak about the work that UFT is doing with our schools and to highlight an upcoming Black History Month event. So please welcome to the show, Anthony Harmon. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you so much, Bob, and it's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation, and as always, it's good to participate and keep the community informed.
And you do so much. I mean, I don't know when you sleep, when you rest. You know, you're always traveling, you're always backing something, and we love the work that you're doing, and we go way back. And you're even a major part of the Make the Grade Foundation. Now, I'm not talking about an honoree. I'm talking about a board of directors member, strong, in place, in line, making things happen. And you're making things happen with everything that you do, man, and we thank you for your service.
I really, really appreciate that. And, you know, it's an honor to serve.
Now, you're working hard with a number of different organizations, but you mainly work with the United Federation of Teachers. You're the chief of staff there. And what's been going on lately?
So, Bob, there's so many things going on. First and foremost, we want to keep public education at the forefront of all our conversations, whether we're talking to parents, whether we're talking to our city, our state elected. Again, we want to keep education in the forefront of all that we do. A couple of things happening, Bob, that come to mind immediately. First, some good news that we try to share with the community. And I try to remind people as often as I possibly can, our parents, our students, and our community, about a homework help hotline that we have at the UFT.
Yeah.
In its 42nd year, 42 years we've been serving the community. So a student is having trouble with their homework, or if a parent would like to help their child with their homework, we have a program called Dial a Teacher. Dial, D-I-A-L, a teacher.
I call it homework helper, like if it's a meal or something. But hey,
whatever it takes to get that message out there, right?
Yeah.
You know, this program, students can call our hotline, and on the other end of the phone is a state certified teacher. They're ready and willing to help them, you know, with their homework assignments. We have each of those teachers that, you know, you see in these pictures. are New York State certified teachers with over 5 years, minimally 5 years teaching experience. But they come to us with 15, 20 years teaching experience. Uh, a big highlight of the program is that we offer the homework assistance in 9 different
Oh,
languages.
beautiful. Yeah.
Speaks, Spanish. There's someone on the phone that can help them with Spanish. If a student speaks Haitian Creole, we have a staff member that can help them, in their native language. And one of the things that we're seeing currently is a big influx in terms of the immigrant children, the asylum seekers that are coming, to our public school system.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to provide as much support as we can to those young people. So we made attempts, to hire and to staff up our Spanish speaking teachers to
Yeah.
help students, in their native language, because God knows they're facing a host of challenges, whether moving from shelter to shelter or housing issues, isolation issues, and the like. So we're trying to make sure that we do all that we can to support our young children, the asylum seekers.
Yeah. And
Additionally, I'm sorry.
yeah. And so, you know what? I would like to go over and visit with you and then help promote this.
Please come down. We're located at the U of T headquarters, 52
Uh-huh.
Broadway. I'm more than happy to host you. And if you can help us to get the word out and to see these teachers actually helping children with their homework on any given day. I have 30
Yeah.
teachers that are in that call center helping kids. And it sounds like you're in the United Nations,
Yeah.
You're here, you're Bengali over here, and you're here Spanish over
Oh,
there, and
wow.
you're Haitian Creole over there, like, helping kids, with their homework.
That's
One of
beautiful.
the things we also saw, immediately, during the pandemic and,
Uh-huh.
immediately thereafter, as a matter of fact, was kids calling, the homework hotline. Kids who were, they were single children at home and they had no one there to help them. Kids that were, struggling, academically.
Yeah.
you know, we saw an influx of calls. We get thousands of calls annually, anywhere from 45,000 to 60,000 calls of
Yeah.
kids calling for help
That's
with their
beautiful.
homework.
Helping others get what they need out of life. What's that number to that hotline?
212 777 3380. 212-777-3380. And we encourage everyone to call. And at the highlight of the program, Bob, we operate 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday in 9 different languages. So we're there immediately when a young person gets home from school and they want to dive into their homework, 4 to 7 p.m. And
Yeah.
the whole program started, Bob, I want to say about 42 years ago, as a pilot program in the Bronx, when children were coming home by themselves and there was no one at home to help them. And I think they called them latchkey children at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the program started. We
Yeah.
wanted to do something to help all those kids that were coming home from school and had no one there to assist them with their homework. And
Yeah.
sometimes, Bobby, it's the cutest story. Sometimes these kids that are like single kids, at home alone, they'll just call and say, I just want to, can someone read to me a story?
Oh, wow.
If the kindergarten kid or a first grader, or just to talk to someone and have someone on the other line.
That's good,
We
man.
also staff our staff to help students that, may be suffering from isolation, whether
Yeah.
they're the immigrant children or, suffering from the pandemic.
Yeah. So we'll get on that as soon as we get together. I'm going to do something called "What's Going On," and I want to highlight that piece right there too, and maybe show up and see what's going on and be in the mix right there. And I'll help promote that. Now you have something coming up for Black History Month, right?
Absolutely, Bob, and thank you so much for allowing me to talk about it. So for years, the United Federation of Teachers, we have what's called the African Heritage Committee. It's the senior constituent group of the United Federation of Teachers. I used to chair this group 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And one of the things I recognized is that there was not enough recognition of Black and brown folk that are in these public school systems that are doing really yeoman's work. And I would go to an event and I didn't see enough people that looked like me on the dais, or people being recognized that looked like me. So what I decided to do back then was to, let's create our own.
Yeah.
So we started our annual Black History Month scholarship dinner dance, where we recognize teachers in our public school systems that are doing outstanding work, helping children to succeed. We have what's called the Mary McLeod Bethune Award, which recognizes teachers in our public school system. We also have the Frederick Douglass Award for Civil and Human Rights that we normally give to someone in our community that's doing yeoman's work. This year, that award is going to be going to Assemblymember Khalil Anderson in Queens, who's doing phenomenal work to support the community in the Far Rockaway area.
And those two people that you just mentioned are in my book, the first one, People to Know in Black History and Beyond. I had to just throw that in there, man, so it could be a part of what you're talking about. Black History Month is upon us, and I'll be signing all over the place. But I'll make sure that we are participating with this event. That's going to be where now?
It's going to be at Anton's in Queens Village in February the 2nd, 2024.
February the 2nd, 2024.
And this year we're celebrating our 20th anniversary, our 20 years, and we're still going strong. We're encouraging people to come out, come be a part of the event. Now, it's not free. Let me put that out there. It's not a free, but we'll get you the information, so that you can post it.
We will participate. I'm going to be over at Local 371s. I got to host that and do a book signing. Then I'm coming over to you.
Wonderful. We look forward to seeing you there.
You got it. All right. So what that's on the 2nd, right, of February. Mm-hmm. What else is going on for Black History Month?
So we're having something called the Black History Film Series. Now, this is a free event, but people have to register for this. Yeah. We're going to be looking at 3 to 4 movies that have come out this year or that are out, and having a discussion with our teachers and with our parents, about the movie. One of the things that we're looking at, one of the movies that we're looking at is the movie of Rustin that highlights on Netflix right now, and it highlights the life of Bayard Rustin. Right. I don't think that is justice in our history books. Right. So we're going to be highlighting his work and his role in the civil rights movement, having some discussions, so the teachers can then in turn take the movie to their schools. Parents can get a better understanding about, the civil rights movement. But it's movies like that we're going to be hosting. And this year we're looking at 3 different movies. And we're going to be posting them at the UFT, our main building, 52 Broadway. And again, we'll send you over the information, and, if folks want to come, they could register. Open discussion. It's about a 2.5 hour, event where we view the movie and we have some discussions afterwards, and try to provide teachers with lesson plans. All
right, 30 seconds, Anthony. Anything that we missed that you would like to make mention of?
I'd just like to remind people about our Brave Hotline. It's not in the limelight anymore, but there's still an issue with kids being bullied in our public school systems and in our community. And that we have a resource out there for parents and for children called Brave, Building Respect and Voice Through Education. And that's our anti-bullying hotline. So not only do we have a hotline, but people can also contact us if they want workshops at their schools to help students understand to be upstanders. What do you do when you see a young person being bullied? How do you support, my friend or someone that I see in my classroom that's being bullied? And we also provide professional development for the teachers. So please reach out to us. Plenty of resources at the United Federation of Teachers.
We love you, man. Can't wait till you get back. Let's talk and see if we can put some more of this stuff together, all right?
Absolutely, man. Thanks for the opportunity for being here.
You got it. Enjoy, and I'll see you when you get back.
All right, thanks.
Anthony Harmon, Director of Staff, United Federation of Teachers, and also the President of NAACP New York Chapter. We'll take a quick break. I've got more coming your way next on Open.
I remember when the Bronx did not really have a media outlet properly representing the people of the Bronx.
BronxNet provides for the community by being a community where people can be empowered to share their voices.
We are in a really great place technologically. We've got all the resources that we need to be effective.
Whether it's through cameras, storytelling, editing, we have provided those services for 30 years.
BronxNet's mission is to be a voice for the community.
To educate, to inform, and to inspire.
And you can be a part of it. We've built studios for you.
And welcome back. Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you're watching Open. Our next guest is CEO of the National Educational Venture Alliance and co-director of the Ascend on Long Island. You're going to know more about it right after this. She joins us to speak about the work that she is doing with her platform, Neva, to empower women in business. So please welcome to the show, Dr. Neva Helena Alexander.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. You in there?
Yes.
Woosah. There we go. Now, you've been doing this for some time. How long have you been doing it?
Okay, so there are two different things. National Educational Venture Alliance is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. And there's Neva Alliance, which is a professional development company. Pretty much all in all, started around 2013. Yeah, so it's some time now. Yeah, over 10 years.
And they both help people. They help people to do what?
Okay, so National Educational Venture Alliance focus on students, preparing them for college. And I've done a lot of work internationally on that. And Neva Alliance, professional development, whether it's training, seminars, and under that umbrella, I do the International Women's Conference.
Beautiful. We got to attend some of those.
Definitely.
And you're working with some beautiful people.
I am, definitely.
Who are they?
Oh, man, the people that I'm working with. So, in partnership with the Long Island African American Chamber of Commerce, that's one, NetStruck PR, that's brought me here to you, right?
Yeah.
And we also have a Street Hype newspaper, just various people being involved to make sure that, you know, people come out, people know what we're doing, and we've had an awesome time in the past.
Beautiful. And who's that young lady over there sitting in the corner?
NetStruck PR. Sharon, how are you?
Sharon Lead in the house.
yes.
Yes. All right. Yes, she does a lot of great work with a lot of people.
Definitely.
And I'm sure, you know, she's going to back you 100% everything that you want to do. What created this platform? What inspired you to create this platform for people?
Oh, man. So let's start back 2010. I was in Saudi Arabia. I was a professor, then they promoted me to chair a department. And I also taught classes there in leadership. And I realized the females, because, you know, they separate males from females, they didn't really know much about leadership. And that brought the idea, like, wait a minute. And I actually created a book, I wrote a book on Female's Guide to Understanding Leadership. And then I came back to the US and I said, what's next? And I also realized there's still an opportunity here for international women voices to be heard. And that's how it really came about. And traveling in different parts of the world, right? So some might say, well, in the US, you have it easy when it comes to certain things, but not so much because there's certain, you know,
Makes you count your blessings, right? When you
Yes,
see that
yes.
there's something else going on other than what's happening in the United States.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I went to South Africa and you had to go to Soweto and you watch the people walk up about a quarter of a mile to go to the bathroom and get water, and you see the little pieces of property that they have. I cried in there. I said, man, we have to count our blessings. Look what we have in the U.S. and compared to what they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and women have a problem over there. In my book, I have her name, the young Malala. She got
Yes.
shot in the head because of education, because if she wanted to teach education, and they were against, the Taliban was against teaching and all of that in education for women.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
So you get a chance to see that in Saudi Arabia. It was a whole different story of it, right?
Definitely different in the aspect of, and I wanted to put through to them, like, you know, with leadership, it's not just, you know, women being in these positions that they considered feminine, like to be a feminist, you know, your mom is a leader, right?
Yeah.
Your teacher is a leader. So just different aspect, just breaking it down to them, right?
And how did you decide to start the International Women's Day Conference?
So again, as I kind of alluded earlier, like I just did not want, okay, I came back and what's next? So with the Women's Conference, I thought about a platform where, you know, international women voices can be heard.
Yeah.
I am international. I am, you know, been international in so many different aspects. So I wanted them to, you know, get their voices out there in different positions in whatever they fall into.
And have you seen any change in the opportunities that you presented to people over the years?
You know, if you asked me that a few years ago, like 2 years or so, I said, yeah. But then with the recent pullback on, you know, diversity, equity, and inclusion, it kind of say, okay, wait a minute, you know, are we moving forward or backward, you know? But there might be, some might say, no, there are no changes, and some might say yes, but they're extremely slow.
Yeah.
Right? And I find that some people don't see the importance of it. And I think that needs to be changed.
Yeah. Well, you have something called, there's a theme, ladies leading. Why is this significant?
Ladies leading or leading ladies? Just
Either way, ladies leading.
Leading ladies. Just to be standing who you are, right? And leading ladies, having women in different capacity presenting their stories, right? Whether it's being, you know, yeah. So that is from actually the picture before, it's 2018. Yeah. And
there it is right there.
Yes. Yeah.
And what's the one before this? Go back one.
The one before, oh wow, oh wow, that is way back. That's actually in Jamaica.
Is it? Yeah, woman. All right.
So I was doing some charity work there. Yeah, so that's what that is. Yeah.
Okay. Any other good pictures you want to show? My producer's up there flipping the script there. Go ahead.
I don't see any.
Any significance right there?
No.
That was in Jamaica too.
Probably is. So that's from, actually, the background is from last year, 2023. So that's...
this is coming up March 9th, 2024.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
That's at Hofstra University?
Yeah, so all those ladies were there for last year, 2023. Yes, at Hofstra University.
Yeah. How's that conference going to look? What are people going to take from it?
All right, so we have a few different panels, and we have individual speakers. One of the panel what we have is around diverse women in media, and actually Sharon is going to moderate that panel.
Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And just women voices to be heard, so that's her platform. Another on women in the workplace, and we're looking at DEI. And we also have a panel on rising leaders, is more student-oriented because we want the students to get involved. So that's actually done by Hofstra University, their business school, which is also a sponsor of the event. And we also have love and relationship because, you know what, I don't want it to be a stiff conference. We have to break it down because as a woman, and we are all involved in love and relationships, so we have that panel. I mean, other than that, we have some great individuals, Dr. Sandra Scott, One Brooklyn Health System. She's going to be a speaker as well. We have a young 12-year-old child activist, Fatia, who is going to be speaking on, the rights of, children and, again, many different speakers in lineup, and some we're still confirming, so I cannot say until we get the official approval.
She's going to come up there. Children's rights, yes.
Yeah, she also talk about climate as well, so maybe she takes that. But yeah, she talks about those two different aspects.
That's good.
Yes.
Looks like you got a powerful program going on.
Always, always, and every woman is just powerful in their own rights. Whether someone may say small or big, they're powerful in their own right.
What makes you feel good, Dr. Alexander, about what you're doing to help others get what they need out of life?
You know what? This event, and it's no secret because I make it, I'm transparent. Like, it takes a lot to put together. Yeah. But at the end of it all, it's when, individuals walk away and said, wow, they got something from a panel or a speaker. Yeah. I've had individuals that came from Singapore before, and they went up to one of the speakers and said, I came here just because of you.
And it made it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Me traveling thousands of miles to get to America to hear what you have to say.
Right. Yeah. Or last year we had the First Lady of Jamaica. She was the keynote. And to this day I've had individuals, just her message, just her being humble. They thought maybe she wouldn't be that person, and they just love what she had to say. Or someone coming in from, England, and motivated the first part of the conference. And I'm hearing, oh, you're going to have that speaker again? No, not really, but we have motivational individuals that, whatever they have to say, they're sharing their journey in their life, and it made an impact. So just the stories that are being told, yes.
That makes you feel good.
Yeah,
makes
definitely.
It all worthwhile.
Yes.
Anything else coming up that we should know about?
Other than the conference, that's my focus right now, and I do,
that's good.
Again, want to thank the individuals, that are there with me. Again, I mentioned, the Netstruck earlier, and Street Hype, and Czar Business School at Hofstra University. So,
School my son went to.
Oh, really?
He was on the football team there. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So that's good. So, give me your website where we can go and we can follow you, social media. Give me the whole thing.
All right. So the website is nevalliance.com. Just NEV, and you add Alliance to it, and you'll be able to find me. On socials, Dr. Neva H. Alexander on LinkedIn. You could find me on Instagram. I am Dr. I don't remember, Neva Alliance.
We'll find it.
You'll
so
find
put
it.
everything
Just
on the website.
Google it, and
we'll
you'll be able to find me. Yes, and the conference, of course.
Well, good. Any new ventures that you're thinking about working on? A new book or film or anything?
Oh, well, for a book, I'm actually writing one right now. It's more of an immigrant.
I knew, Sharon, I knew there was something in there.
You mentioned it. So. One where I want to, I'm writing about immigrants being business owners, specifically women business owners that are immigrants. So I'm telling their stories.
That's beautiful.
But I have to, some don't want to disclose their name because the stories behind it.
Bring it back here. When you get ready, just bring it back here.
Yeah.
And we'll hook it up for you, all right?
Thank you.
So the conference is in March.
March 9th, and that's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4. I promise you, we're not just going to have people, because people say, oh, just speakers. We have entertainment as well. And you're going to be fed their lunch and, snacks and stuff like that. And, it is
And
from
Sharon's
10.
going to call me down there to probably host something. I don't know what it is.
Why
but she's
not?
gonna give me a
Yes,
call.
come on. Yeah. I think he's sending a message to you, Sharon. So, so definitely, yes. And at Hofstra University. And if, students want to attend, just reach out and actually put them on the list if they're students.
Sounds good. Doctor, thank you so much. Dr. Neva Helena Alexander, CEO, National Educational Venture Alliance, and
Neva Lines.
Thank you so much. We'll take a quick break. I've got more coming your way next on Open.
Thank you, BronxNet. Congratulations on 30 years. What an amazing accomplishment. On behalf of myself, Alina Dow, and I represent the Dow Twins and the Dow Twins Show, who are young producers. They started, I think, when they were 11, and now they're 14. They started making 30-second little fun facts, and now they are doing 30-minute shows. And it goes to a testament of how much you guys do in the Bronx to make young people want to continue to be involved. I wish you 30 more amazing years and beyond. Thank you for what you do.
Without BronxNet, I don't know how we'd be able to showcase the important and amazing talents that we have here at the Bronx. We've been able to feature lots of great artists, performers, people who deal with coffee and small entrepreneurship businesses, discuss controversial topics, and also be able to share the voice of residents that might not normally have access without a place like BronxNet.
And welcome back. You know, as we step into the new year, well, kaboom, guess who stepped into the room? Everybody stepped into a brand new year. Well, some of us set New Year's resolutions to transform our bodies to match our fitness goals. Joining us to speak about her Total Weight Care Institute weight loss program is Dr. Catherine H. Toomer, a physician, hypnotherapist, and NLP practitioner. She shares tips on how you can build your confidence and love the way you look in 2024. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Toomer. How are you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling very well. Thank you for having me.
You know, Dr. Toomer, you're sitting in South Carolina right about now, right?
Yes, I am.
I love that place. I
So
love
do
some of
I.
the, because I have a lot of cousins over there and family members and brothers. Doctor, you're into hypnotherapy, right?
Yes.
And a
Yes.
lot of people think that it's just one of those things that swings back and
Yeah.
forth, a pendulum swinging back and forth to get you into a state of mind. But it's deeper than that. Tell
It
us
is. And
about it and tell us how you got
so
started. Say it again.
I was one of those people.
You thought that? I thought that too, until I took one
Yeah.
of the classes.
Yes,
was-
and really what it is, it's just deep relaxation that allows your consciousness to come through. So a lot of times we just get in our own way.
Yeah.
And so when we relax very deeply, it's sort of like that phase, like right before you're about to fall asleep, suddenly something you've been worrying about, you come up with a solution
Yeah.
at that. It's kind of creating that phase of your clarity so that you can
Yeah.
pretty much relax and
Doc,
just
I was working on this PhD program, the American Institute of Holistic Theology, and that was one of the classes, hypnotherapy. And it got very, very deep, and it got into things where people had problems trying to get out of the trauma of being born.
yes.
That's how far it went back. And
Wow.
that opened up my mind a little bit. I said, wow, people were traumatized being born. And they had to go and that was just one of the things, but they had to go in and get some therapy on that and go back and find out how that got there and how to get rid of it. Yeah, it's pretty deep. Doc, I got to hand it to you. So talk about some of the things that you do. How did you get into it? What inspired the start your Total Weight Care Institute?
What started was about 23 years ago and out of desperation. I, over the years, through stress-related weight gain, marriage, 2 babies in 3 years,
Yeah.
I was over 100 pounds overweight. And I was on insulin I was a diabetic on insulin, and then I had my second child, and a month after went into congestive heart failure
Yeah, yeah.
and was put on a transplant list at that time, a heart transplant list, was told I had a 50% chance of living 5 years. And so I froze. I was scared.
Yeah.
And so I ended up trying to get help, and I couldn't get help because of my heart. Everyone said, just focus on your heart, and we won't fix anything else. And so I kept getting turned away for help to get
But it
the
seems
rest of
like you
my.
have a good heart.
Well, I hope so. Now I do. both figuratively and
Yeah.
actually.
You have the same
Um,
heart though, right? You didn't have to get a heart
yes, I did
transplant.
not need a transplant. What happened was that my husband, who's also a physician, and I started working on a program for myself
Yeah.
because I couldn't get help. So I just created one of my own, and it worked. I got my diabetes under control and immediately started losing weight. But more importantly, I focused on my mental health as well. I treated my depression because that's really what was holding me back from being able to do much of
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
And so when I created my program, I included all of that. So it's a biopsychosocial program, and it's based on our biology, our psychology, and what happens around us in our lives. So that because all of them interact, all of them play a role in our health.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And so then I used, when I was able to go back into practice, I used that program with my patients. I used to work in underserved areas with, underinsured or uninsured patients, but I found that I didn't have the time support that I needed in order to help people really turn their
Yeah.
lives around, their health around. So I opened my own practice
Yeah.
in 2016.
And doctor, a lot of people, they're not born diabetic. Some are, but when you have problems like that later on in life, usually it's type 2 diabetes. And
Yes.
it's from the
Mhm.
foods that you're eating. The foods are like eating up all the insulin in your body.
Well, what it is primarily is when behavior meets genetics.
Yes. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, talk about it, doc. Genetics
So
and behavior. I
often
like
what
that.
happens, well, often what happens right now, there's a continuum. It starts with insulin resistance, then goes to pre-diabetes, then diabetes.
Mm.
And there's a problem we're running into is that in medicine, we only start to pay attention what's already in diabetes. And what I do is I look at insulin resistance and stop it then.
Yeah.
And
There you
it's
go.
also the reason why so many of the newer weight loss medications are also diabetic medications.
Yes.
It's because they work on the same,
Ah.
because it's pre-diabetes that causes so much weight gain.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people who said, you know what, I'm going to change this completely. They change the way the habits and they change a lot of the ways they're eating. They eat healthy. And I look at Mayor Adams, Eric Adams. He said he had a problem. He was a diabetic. And I also look at Reverend Al Sharpton. I think he did something and did a drastic change. And they lost a lot of the weight. And they're not diabetics anymore.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
diabetics anymore. With the abundance of weight loss medications available, how safe is this form of a weight loss strategy? And is it the easiest way to lose weight?
It is the healthiest and most effective and most efficient way of losing weight.
Yeah.
If you have glucose dysregulation, most people who gain weight very easily and have a very difficult time losing it is because of glucose dysregulation. And so when you have these medications, it makes it so much easier, one, because it affects how you choose food, it affects your cravings, it affects your moods around food, it affects your interactions and your behavior and your attitude about food. And
Yeah.
all of those things coming together create an environment that makes it so much easier than to do all the other things that are necessary. Because once your muscles are no longer competing with another metabolic process,
Ah.
exercise becomes so much more efficient.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why they work so well. And that's why they're so safe. And that's why You know, we've been using them with diabetics for 20 years.
Yeah.
These aren't new medications.
Yeah. You see a lot of TV commercials now where people are just, they have the weight loss drug and they're using it and they show the person big and then they show the person, hey, look, that was me. They even hold up a pair of pants or something or a skirt that was 10 times larger than what they are now. Are those weight loss programs, would you recommend that, or is it something that you're using, or?
Well, it depends. So this is the thing. They're really, it's calling them weight loss medications is actually kind of a misnomer. What they do is they treat the cause of weight gain. They don't actually give you weight loss.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And so what my program does goes to the cause of weight gain. And those medications affect the cause of weight gain. And so that's why they're so effective. And if we don't go after the cause, then all we're doing is putting a Band-Aid on a problem.
So as a holistic healer, you get down to the root of the problem.
Yes.
Yes.
The biological reason, the psychological reason, and all the social reasons. And those social reasons are like family, things we learned from family behavior, things, you know, we do with our friends and family and at work, you know, if people work in restaurants and those type of things. So all of that plays a role.
Yeah. And when you go on vacation, don't eat out every day. I just got back. I was like going nuts.
No, it's not that you eat. It's the choices within what you eat. And usually it's the order. It's not even our body makes fat through carbohydrates.
Yes.
So if we focus on protein and healthy fats, we automatically change our diet.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't mean you have to cut down on calories. In fact, cutting down on calories sometimes affects metabolism in a way that causes weight gain.
Yeah. And you eat a lot of the things that taste good instead of being good for you health-wise.
Oh, now things that taste good can be good for you too.
It can be, but you know what I'm talking about, Doc.
Well, see, that's the thing. So we talk a lot about emotional eating, which is basically Thanksgiving in the United States. And so what you do is you still eat the foods you want. You just change the proportions. You just eat more of the meat instead of the potatoes, but you can still have the potatoes.
Yes.
You just change the configuration. And that's really how I managed to lose over 100 pounds and keep it off.
Yeah.
And my heart is improved. I'm no longer on a heart transplant.
Beautiful. And that's probably the difference between the medications that are out now and the way that you're doing it. Because the medications that they have out now, when do you stop? When do you stop?
I use the medications.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They are lifesavers and they're miracle meds.
Yeah. But
I'm on one.
And you can't stop though, right? You got to keep taking.
No, well, you don't have to. See, this is the thing. You're treating a chronic disease.
Yeah.
And that chronic, it's like saying if you're hypertensive, when do you stop your hypertension medication?
Yeah.
You know, so
when do you stop and get into your own body, because you didn't grow up like that? Your body was doing its own thing. But if you're chronically ill and then you're taking a medication and you're in the safe zone, can you ever stop and get back into your own way of life, your own natural body way?
Muscle will determine whether you can, if you're on a medication that is treating your cause of weight gain.
Yeah.
Muscle is the only part. Building muscle will help determine how much medication, if you have to stay on medication, how frequently, what dose. It's really, and for every single person, it's different. And that's where the art of medicine comes in.
Beautiful.
Because you can't say from the beginning, one, how much weight someone's going to lose, because it's about their health. And so their body follows where their health goes.
Beautiful. Where can our audience go for more information? Because we can stay on here for about an hour, Doc, and just go back and forth.
So they can find me. I'm Dr. Toomer everywhere except TikTok, Dr. Toomer Talks, because there was already a Dr. Toomer. But drtoomer.com is my website, and anyone can contact me through my website.
You got it. We're gonna when I go to South Carolina, I'm gonna give you a call. Say, let's go to one of those places where you can eat well.
That's everywhere.
Hey, Doc, thank you so much. Dr.
All
Catherine
right.
H. Toomer, MD, founder, Total Weight Care Institute. We love you and thank you for all the information.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a quick break. Guess what? I've got more open because we're wide open right here on Open.
Hello, my name is Tyrone Lowe. I host a show at BronxNet called The Legends, where I bring real legends, DJs, upcoming artists, actually people from the past that's into entertainment. I want to thank BronxNet. First of all, I want to thank for the 30 years of them actually being active here. It has opened a lot of doors for me to the point where I'm branching off to have my own network. Fulfill your dreams here. That's all I have to say.
And welcome back. We're just having a bundle of fun right here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Open. Our last guest is known as a storyteller. They call him Storyteller Gordon. And he's a versatile writer too, spoken word artist, dynamic host, and he joins us to speak about his 501c3 nonprofit organization from NYC and to highlight the efforts he's taken to foster positive and healthy conversations on masculinity, the holistic health of black men, and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Darnnell Dorvil.
Thank you.
Darnnell,
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You work out, man?
Yeah, when I can.
When I can. No,
And-
I
and-
understand completely. Sometimes, you're running hard and you can't.
Yeah. And when the doctor gives me approval, that's important as a health advocate, make sure that you're good to work out before you get into any regimen. I would recommend most guys
That's right, because there's stories on that too, where guys want to just get in and go at it right off the bat. And sometimes you can't do that. You got to find out what you're capable of doing and go slow.
Absolutely.
And get into it little by little.
Absolutely.
No, we're not 10 anymore.
Certainly not. Certainly not.
What made you get into storytelling, and how did you get the name Storyteller Gordon?
So Gordon, which has no relation to me at all, was a name given to me when I was upcoming and was being a rapper more so. So they gave me the name Gordon. And when I looked into the name Gordon and the etymology of the name, it said leader and, fearless. And I said, well, I'm a fearless leader. Yeah. I wanted to attach that to my personality at that time because I didn't have the confidence then that I do now. So it became almost like a safety blanket of confidence. So when I got back into writing and wanting to share my writing with the world, I figured I would take the Gordon and add the storyteller to it because storytelling is what connects me to the universe. Growing up, I used to have vision problems. I had to have my eye patched to strengthen my other eye. So it really sharpened my listening skills. I would love how people explain things, stories, even commentary, and of course hip hop. Hip hop is everything. So that's where I took all the storytelling from, and added the
You could have
two
been like
together.
another Slick Rick.
Slick Rick, Outkast, Notorious B.I.G., Nas. We come from a long line of storytellers. I'm from Brooklyn. You know,
With the patch. Slick Rick.
With the yes, certainly.
How has storytelling changed your life and the life of others?
Mine.
But did you grow up? You can hold that for a second. Yeah. But did you grow up shy? Because you said you didn't have the confidence.
Yeah, I did. I grew up very shy. I was a nerd. I was what people like to call a nerd, what people deem a nerd. But I probably was always cooler than I thought. We grew up with that identity complex and the imposter syndrome. You're actually a lot cooler than you believe.
I was that way too. So I didn't speak much. I just did. In sports and in boxing and football and basketball, I just went ahead and did and let that speak because, it was a whole nother story. When anyway, let's talk about
I did in the classroom, scholastically.
So storytelling changed your life and changed the life of others.
Yeah, because it's what gave me connection. It's what gave me connection to people, to things. It's how I feel out the world. It's how I read the world. So I was good at so many different things. And even when I would struggle through jobs or find out what my place is, the one thing I would always hang my hat on was my ability to connect with people.
Yeah.
So whether that was retail, whether that was sales, whether that was healthcare, I've always been able to connect with people because I'm listening to what you're saying, I'm relating to what you're saying, and I'm speaking it back to you, right? And when you realize that we as people have more in common than what separates us, you're not looking at what makes us different anymore. You're just looking at the commonalities, and that's what storytelling did for me. So whether this person is disabled, whether this person is going through a hard time, whether this person has a different gender, has a different sex, a different religion, I will find a commonality in your story, and we automatically become related. We're human.
Yeah. The identification technique.
Absolutely.
Let's find out what it's all about. I got some stuff with me. You got some stuff with you. You know, I love you for who you are, though. You know, understanding that everybody has situations, everybody has good and bad that people love about them, and hate about them. But if you understand that, you can relate.
Absolutely.
How does your work, storytelling, relate to Black men's health and mental health?
So, Form NYC started when I finished graduate school. I finished graduate school, and I decided to found Form NYC, focused operation to redefine masculinity, because at the time, I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with it. I'm dating women who are telling me I need to be more of a man, as if there's a place that you graduate to become a man. There's no school of that. There's none of that. So I was like, well, I can't let you define me as a man. You know, so understanding that, and understanding that I had a collection of male friends who helped me break this identity. Don't let someone talk to you like this, and not every guy has that community. So I understood that men needed community to understand that, you know, you're okay, you're doing okay, and now the conversation around mental health is always, you know, at the forefront of conversation when it comes to men's health and men's mental health. But I have been having these conversations in barbershops with men, with young men when I was a teacher in Philadelphia. I've had several conversations with these men, and when you know how connected to how many different men you are, how many stories you have, it became easy to tell that in my work. So this was, as I was waiting for the 501c3 paperwork to go in and the work, I started posting these little vignettes online, stories of men and the awkward conversations that we share in closed rooms, and share that with the world and see what happens, because they didn't know men think like this.
Explain some of these pictures right here. What is it?
This is me in Ghana, Africa. December, we were doing some nonprofit work. I collaborated with a colleague of mine, Yao Asante. He's the founder of Kaliko. And that was a good time. We visited orphanages in Africa. This is December also. I did a toy drive with my nonprofit organization. We got over 400 toys to One Brooklyn Health, the pediatric unit over there. That's me distributing the toys. I'm with Dr. Viss, who's higher up over there at One Brooklyn Health, at the Brookdale Hospital. Some more photos of that.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you're doing some great work in our community.
So this was my men's health and wellness mixer. So I was able to honor those who not only in healthcare in and of itself, but community health, health and wellness, fitness, as well as mental health, honoring people who are contributors to the health of Black men in our communities.
Beautiful, beautiful. Great, thank you for doing that, all that you're doing. Your storytelling, you got the Form NYC, you got the 501c3 going on. So you're in line, right? You got all the ducks in a row. And there's always something that you got to put together. What are you missing right now? Are you raising funds? Are you looking for cash?
Always. 501c3 should say we're always looking for money. Always. Website formnyc.org. to donate, that would always be great. Right now,
we got the Wizard of Oz room up there. Guys, you know what to do, right?
right now,
take this camera right here and ask for what you want.
Money. All of it. No, seriously, you can feel free to donate funds to www.formnyc.org. Right now we're in the process of setting up our next men's health and wellness mixer for 2024. And it's, as an artist now, it's great, but I work in healthcare, so I can get doctors out there. I've worked in community health. I get directors of organizations out there. I'm in the gym. I get fitness individuals, and they're all in one room to basically talk about the health of our community, and we get to honor some people who are doing great work. It's a really beautiful event.
When is that going to take place?
In June, Men's Health Month. June 18th is the tentative date.
Yeah, and that's all going to be on your website, which is?
formnyc.org.
All right, send that dough. You need cash.
I need cash.
You need help. You need volunteers.
We need volunteers, boots on the ground, individuals who are working, anyone who's willing to get committed and assist the cause. We definitely take on the assistance.
Hey man, thank you so much. So we send that to, all that information is going to be right there, because now you put it out there and you want people to go right there and find out where to send this money, how they can be a part of what you're doing, how they can volunteer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the website again?
formnyc.org. You can sign up for the mailing list and get all the information. I'm also working on my first collection of poetry this year that's to be released in a book form.
Oh, I was going to get them to do it, but I'm running out of time. All right, give me a quick 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Oh.
15 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. In my head, it feels like I already left her. Months ago, when conversations started feeling like lectures, when her touch lost that loving texture, that's not conjecture. Most nights I realize I resent her too much to sex her. But instead of her wondering what that's about, I get hit with accusations of me stepping out. Hostile arguments where we tell each other step it up or not enough. She threatens that she leaves, and I pray she does.
There you go, and you can put the rest of that on the website.
Yeah, please follow me for more of that. Storyteller Gordon. I'm Storyteller Gordon everywhere. That's storytellergordon.com. Storyteller Gordon on YouTube. Storyteller Gordon on TikTok. Storyteller Gordon on Instagram. You can follow me and keep up with the work at Storyteller Gordon.
Darnnell Dorvil, Storyteller Gordon. Thank you so much, man, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, and who's the young lady that's with you?
Sharon Lead.
Sharon Lead, thank you. All right, thank you guys. Unfortunately, that's all the time for today's show. I want to thank our guests for joining us and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And make sure you join our hosts, Kevin Arlene, Darren Jaime, and Rena Valentine on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for all new episodes of Open. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. Remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. So say you can, and you will. For this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.